Hey there! So I recently watched a video by Gabby Bell where she went through all the ways Google has tried to just do pretty much everything on the internet and mostly failed. But one thing she talked about was Google Answers. And she also said this.
Google Answers website is still up and you can see the archive, and it's a treasure trove of content, and I might go dumpster diving for a future video.
So I decided to steal that idea, read some silly Google Answers questions, and I did it in some silly voices so that way Gabby doesn't try to sue me for stealing her idea. Gabby, please, I'm just being silly, I'm just being goofy. I like your videos, don't sue me. Think of the new The Bears commercial. Asked by Slacky 101 GA. List price $2. Who is the singer for the new The Bears commercial? A woman is asleep on a bed and her lover wakes up by placing a diamond necklace on top of her. How can I obtain this? I can tell you the name of the song and the name of the singer. But this version of the song that was used in the commercial is not currently available for download or on CD. It was apparently recorded specifically for the commercial. If you would like to know the same song is performed by other singers, I'll be glad to help you. Just let me know how you'd like to proceed. New song about Tom Allen! How to find a song. Fade to Love by Tom Allen! Subject. Please help me get a date. Category. Arts and Entertainment. Celebrities. Asked by Pro Bono Public GA. List price. $5. One of my unfulfilled ambitions is to date Queen Elizabeth II. A little late for that, buddy? The monarch, not the boat. Can you suggest any better method or improvements to this letter that I've drafted? This needs to be read in a very professional British accent because, as everyone knows, the Queen only dates British people. So, here is Pro Bono Public's letter to the Queen. Dear Queen, it has long been my wish to take you out for a really great bash, and now I sense the opportunity. I see that a stage version of Seven Brides for Seven Brothers is now at the Haymarket Theatre, and I said to myself, I bet Queenie would like to see that. Well, what about it? If you are up for it, I'll get the tickets center stalls, drinks before and during, and a big box of your favorite Belgian chocolates all to yourself. And of course, I'll pick you up at the side entrance of your place and drop you safely back at home. We can stop off for a Big Mac and Coke if you fancy. May I humbly suggest that you don't wear anything too formal. No crowns or tiaras or any fancy stuff because I'm just an ordinary working lad myself. Please clear this with your hubby before committing yourself because there is always a danger that I may not be able to dodge the paparazzi. The swine follow me everywhere. Looking forward, Dinko. There is no answer at this time. However, in the comments, Answer Finder GA responded. Perhaps a dear correspondent of the Queen herself. Dear Dinko, Her Majesty graciously declines your kind invitation to a really great bash. Although she's a little bemused to exactly what a bash is, clearly it must be some low-class working cultural activity. She instructs me to say that she does not try to keep up with her subjects' daily lives by watching EastEnders, one of her favorite. Oh, that she does. She instructs me to say that she does try to keep up with her subjects' daily lives by watching EastEnders, one of her favorite television programs. But as to what a bash is, has completely foxed her. I'm afraid her choice of theatre would not be Seven Bridges for Seven Brothers. That, she tells me, would be almost as boring as having to sit through the Royal Variety performance. Now, if you had offered Jerry Springer the opera, that may have been a different matter. As for Big Mac and Coke, how dare you? The last Big Mac she encountered threw a huge camber at her at the Royal Highland Games. It missed her by only a few inches. And as for Coke, Her Majesty does not take drugs, apart from paracetamol, following visits to Buckingham Palace by that dreadful man, Tony Blair. If you wish to grovel to Her Majesty, then buy a book of stamps and lick her behind. Cynthia Featherstone Hall, Personal Security. P.S. Her Majesty agrees with you about the paparazzi. They are a menace on the mopeds, delivering takeaway Italian food. Why can't people eat the good British food? From Moyarn GA. I understand that Her Majesty has closed circuit TV links to all theaters in town, maybe even links to some less reputed sites, perhaps with a tie into the police surveillance network, so that she can keep abreast of the latest productions without having to go out in the evening. This may sound expensive, but it's much cheaper than setting out in the motion of the machinery involved when she steps out. Hence, I doubt she needs a date from a young man in Colorado to see the show. Colorado? Ah, shit. Perhaps, however, Answer Finder could arrange a tap-in link to Colorado, and they can find a virtual date watching the show, including a webcam link so that they can share enjoyment of the show without disturbing others. While on the subject of CCTV, it's not true that the royal family participated in a facial recognition experiment to keep track of anyone between the ages of 20 and 85. It was considered, however, but then decided as wise and grandmother's will. There are some things that are better not to know. Our city government was during a seance with someone who claimed his name was Galen, and said that he keeps up with matters in the 21st century by ghosting on government officials in public. Alright? From Pafalafa. Don't have Kimmel types letter. You might invite the queen to a bath. I just rang up Philip. Now he's looking to smack you down old school. Steph, 53. Hi, Brian. I know somewhat vertically challenged blonde in Canada who would be willing to camouflage herself as Queen Elizabeth II. Of course, the accent would have to be worked on. Steph, 53. Un pro bono publico final response. Hi, all. I am mightily encouraged by your responses, but Steph has raised an interesting thought. I believe that Queen is also vertically challenged, whereas I am 6'1" without an ounce of fat on my elegant frame. Maybe I should ask Queen to wear stilettos, and wear her hair up, with a miniature crown on top. Still looking forward. Coned. Coned? Okay, that's his new name now. Coned. Dinko GA. At least Brian evokes my name, knowing full well that there would be only way he could get a date with Queen Elizabeth II, either the ship or the monarch. Where he fails, he's not realizing that Liz and I have a long history, stemming from a short stint I had in Oxford, and the very obscure time that the Queen spent as an art class model. I am too discreet to go into any detail. Needless to say, it amused her to do it. The main downfall of the letter was as written, is that Her Highness, having gained the moniker from the very same university experience, loathes the theatre. She would rather go for some fish. She prefers skate, but it's hard to get in the big smoke. Chips in a pint or four at the boozer, and there's Formula One racing on the tube. The television, not the underground transport. After a few bitters, ale, as she likes to be called at these times, becomes entertainment, if you know what I mean. Looking at hence, the true and only Dinko GA. Forgot to add that Elle prefers text messaging via her BlackBerry. Per faux Dinko. Oh, Cone is an anagram of Dinko. I knew something was up. Dear faux Dinko, I'll bet that you would have a lot more fun if you were to date Helen Mirren instead of a genuine item. There's quite a resemblance, and Dame Helen is said to be quite lively and witty, as is that seldom, if ever, applied to Her Majesty. The bonus is this. Helen Mirren, in addition to being able to stimulate Queen Elizabeth II, can also do a bang-on impression of Queen Elizabeth I. Not only that, but if some calendar girl is an indication, damn, Helen is in very nice condition for a lady of her age. Perpendicular. In order to encourage the adaptation of my advice about Dame Helen Mirren, I have taken the liberty of making a one-letter change in question subject line immediately above. I hope I'm not out of the line doing this. There's nothing like a dame, you know. To Dad GA, I have an entirely different approach. I suggest to go to market and purchase a date, the fruit, the go to the venue of Monarch's public appearance. Whip out your date, enjoy. You may choose yourself or for full effect, have someone else take a snapshot. I, for one, would find a photo hilariously funny of you making a passionate love to your date with Queen in the background. Either way, you will be able to say honestly, truthfully, and quite accurately to all who care to know that you did indeed, on one occasion, literally have a date with the Queen. How's that for great activity? Toot Dad GA. Toots, that is a very, very creative idea. I'm just worried about the Queen's ever-present security might do if Dinko is seen making passionate love to a date in public. Experts have colorful imaginations. Some guy wrote a poem about lock of hair. If they can think of that, there's no telling what they might make of someone getting passionate with a date. I suggest that Angie Finder be consulted before attempting this. Which is more objectionable in the eyes of the British, consuming and enjoying a healthy fruit, or disparaging the good name of the nation's monarch, who also happens to be a married woman and the head of the church, by requesting their private company? I submit that the date fruit is not only more acceptable means of fulfilling the dream, but it is in all likelihood a 100% greater probability that the actual date with the Queen. A date fruit can be easily and covertly nibbled on, and no one would be the wiser. Had he dreamed of playing squash with her rather than having a date with her, I can see how my suggestion might have had some obvious drawbacks. Winky face, Dad. Oops, my apologies to Dinko. Ever since I introduced PredText, predictive text, to my computer, whenever I read looking forward, PredText adds the rest. I feel so embarrassed. I shall have to sort this out right away, with many thanks for the various suggestions, but alas, watch the movie Nothing Like a Dame. Queens also have a big following, certainly here in Brighton. Also, sorry, Pops, I'm not fond of the fruity type of dates, but could try. It's just got to be the real thing, preferably in stilettos. Gungelwurfdorf Okendid. Perhaps you consider even with Queen Latifah, or alternatively, no pun intended, even with the late great Freddie Mercury's remaining troupe, who may or may not be willing to don stilettos for the occasion. I think they would. Hi there, Stephanie. Nice to see you. It was just reading another question about how to get a date. I've noticed that it seems that you would really like to meet a nice, retired, but still not an ounce of fat on him, 6'1" Englishman. Just by chance, I happen to know someone like that. He has some odd interests, but there's nothing odd about his preference for the petite females. He keeps going on about some girl. Well, she's a bit older, but looks younger, in Oklahoma. So apparently he doesn't have anything against North Americans, which is a bit odd in light of some of his remarks about the colonials, as he often calls them, if they are petite. One might imagine that, as a hussar in his younger days, he could have something against persons of German descent, but that seems to be belied by his respect for a wee lass in Germany. And then, of course, he's enamored, as he would spell it, of the Queen, and she is of German descent, and also petite, only 5'4", and doesn't hide about one of those unhealthy stilettos. Even in his late beloved days he was petite, not that I'm suggesting that he is, now looking for new companionship. Anyway, gosh, I don't mean to go so long about him. I was just thinking, well, if you think you would like to meet him, just once. Hey kids, this is my date, really. Maybe we could all go together for a drink. You'd be my guest, of course. No, it wouldn't be right for me to pay for the transportation. I wouldn't want to feel obligated. Like hell I wouldn't. I know that he has expensive taste in champagne, but I'd like my pleasure to treat you both. As long as you remember that it was me treating and arranging all this. What do you think? And we never got an answer because that is the end of that surprisingly long thread. Well, that was fun, silly, wasn't it? Cool. I agree. Thanks for asking. How was your day? Did you enjoy the video? I hope so. If you did, you know the drill. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. All that would be appreciated. And if you didn't like the video, then go away. Please don't dislike my videos. I will cry. I'm just trying my best here.